Oh, everyone, that's good. The boy is yours. Duke Jackson, oh my. With a new episode of the News Crunch TV, we're back in action. I've started doing a few videos on Boyce Watkins to start. And in all honesty, Boyce Watkins is not the individual who seems to be the most upright or thorough. Boyce Watkins seems to me to be highly deceptive. He seems like the kind of person who would simply despise you for having the last piece of fried chicken. That's all I have to say about Boyce Watkins. I've never met him, but from what I've heard and what I know about him, he seems to say some interesting things. They remind me a lot of slime balls. In addition, I believe that the Boyce is a lightweight hater. He kind of comes off as a careless, passive-aggressive hater. He also has a propensity to harbor other kinds of jealousy toward these other individuals who are wealthier than him. Okay. And once more, we're going to learn that. Boyce Watkins, however, recently attacked T.D. Jakes and Steve Harvey, claiming that they offer financial advice that is untrue. But now, people, here's the issue. I need your patience, guys. Before we discuss what he had to say about Steve Harvey and T.D. Jakes, I want you to listen to this clip. Play the opening clip, and then we'll return and text the word stock to 31996. Additionally, I will email you the $5 daily investing plan that explains how any family, regardless of income level, can become wealthy in less than a generation. This goes beyond simply texting you the week's stock pick. Doing it is pretty simple. This changes everything and could be done by a 5-year-old. A training I conducted on how to make money without working will also be sent to you. That is very significant. Many of you are ignorant. The majority of money made by wealthy people is earned without any labor at all. I do not want you to be duped. The largest fraud in the country. It is a job, the con. The only place on earth where you can genuinely blast your butt and work your backside off for 40 or 50 years and yet have less money at the end than when you started is at your job. Exactly. It was already mentioned yesterday, however, there are new babies. They are wealthier than others who spent 40 years working and went to college, earning degrees while owing $100,000 in debt. Weldon responds, just over broke, adding, I don't want that to happen to you. I concur. So let's give me a promotion at work. Consequently, if you text the word stock to 31996, I will send you everything you need. From Hampton, Virginia, Harvey Ellis. So, Boyce Watkins asserts in this film that none of the wealthy are actually wealthy and that none of the wealthy engage in manual labor. He's going to show you how to get extremely wealthy. And he despises those who work jobs that barely make ends meet. And this fascinates me greatly because Boyce is currently performing manual labor using YouTube. Like, he's working streaming guy, streaming every goddamn day while he's doing this. What's that known as? A manual job. It is known as work. Nobody on earth becomes wealthy by doing nothing. Let's take a look at a few of the guys who put in a lot of work. Robert Gates. Do you know how much these individuals make, how frequently they work, what time they wake up, and what time they go to bed? For a guy like me, I can vouch that this is the actual account. When I started going to bed at 1 p.m. After working from 6 o'clock to 1 p.m., sometimes for 27, 28 hours straight, I made the most money I've ever made in my life. The time that Uganda celebrated Africa Day. It was my occasion. I spent 32 hours awake. You are only affluent because of you when you are poor. First, you develop a skill set. 2, you labor hard before investing. To invest, you need a lot of cash. Therefore, anyone who is lying to you about how you can get wealthy without doing manual labor is trying to sell you something. Rich people generally put in more work than impoverished people do. So that's where he begins, and it's already a con. Again, he is referring to individuals who have offered false financial advice. What I want to play right now is this. I want to play Steve Harvey's reply to T.D. Jakes. Please hear the hatred in this, please. I'll then return after that. Right. Steve Harvey and T.D. Jakes, who traveled different paths to success, claim that perhaps you or I accomplished the same thing. When I do something that irritates both a lot of white people and a lot of black people, I prefer to target the black community. TD is more prevalent in the church, you know? There, tradition is stronger. Therefore, there is already a natural audience. Many folks think I'm being haughty when I try to connect with bright black people. They object to that. They perceive me as being elitist, but I'm not. I merely want black people to be intelligent. I'm therefore growing the audience. I'm developing the B1 workforce. I'm creating the folks who are unapologetically pro-black, who value themselves, and who want to be intelligent. At the same time, they aspire to be wealthy. Therefore, it isn't a natural audience. The fact that we have been practicing Jesus in the Bible for 400 to 500 years would make my job as a pastor in a church a little bit simpler. To clarify, however, let's shift generational curses and do a thorough critical analysis of the situation. I mean, at most, 10 or 20% of the community. Therefore, it's unlikely that many people will be very interested in my point of view. It's okay that way. You see, I only enjoy it that way because I don't need or want everyone in order to lead the revolution. I only need a few excellent men and ladies. I'm done now. Just that. Give me a few soldiers and some badasses, that's all I want. Exactly a small portion of them. With that, I can go and rule the world. Okay. Therefore, I may not agree with all they do. I'll never be the one to host the family argument. I'd be so incredibly bored. No matter how much money there was, I simply couldn't picture getting up and going to work every day as a host. And Steve said, let's quickly summarize. We're leaving, Steve declares. I'm going to leave you 15% of my money, and I'm going to spend the other 85% with your mother. TD intervenes and says, it's not what you leave to the kids, it's what you leave in them. I can kind of get off the bus a little bit because my PhD is in finance, but I do agree with both of those statements to some extent. I work in that field. I've spent a lot of time researching this. There is a significant difference. He talks about how it's sad for a black person to be on this level and to look like that in the dust while always being so dusty in his presentations. Boyce has to make everything really dusty. But what do you people think? Are you boy? Oh no, Duke Jackson is back with another installment of the Celebrity Junk Preacher. Observe the bell. We leave.